Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show, baby. It is officially Friday. We've made it through another week, especially me in California, but I don't have it as bad as people in LA, of Joe Biden's reign, and he only has 10 days left. Ugh, it can't come quicker, man. The 20th just can't come quicker. I get goosebumps every time I say it, and we will be live for the inauguration, Patriots. We will be live probably all day on Monday, on the 20th. So please come join us if you can. I think quite a few people should have off work. I think it's an MLK day or something like that too. So streaming as long as I can. Now, there's going to be times where I'm on camera, off camera, because I got to take breaks. I'm getting old. But other than that, please join us for the inauguration. We will be live for that. Now, it is Friday, so if you're new to our channel, one, welcome, and two, we do this every single morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you enjoy what you see here, hit that like button. There are a lot of patriots in the chat, so log into your YouTube or Rumble and join the chat. I don't really know where I was going. Oh, Friday, that's right. Friday's a little bit more of a loosey-goosey type of episode. It's the end of the week. We're all kind of winding down here. We're going over some news articles that we may or may not have covered during the week and kind of go over some breaking news. So join us, and that's why you're going to get a little bit of a different episode. Also, update for everybody that wasn't here yesterday. Locals over at Rumble is working. If you're curious on what Locals is, you know how on YouTube you can subscribe and become a member, like Jeff just did. Jeff has been a member, honestly, for quite some time. He re-upped his badge, right? So his badge shows on YouTube, and it says, welcome to the Bald Brad Army. So thank you, Jeff, for re-upping. Greatly appreciate. And also thank you for everything you did over there in Pennsylvania on helping getting Donald Trump elected. Now, he joined on YouTube. So Jeff, thank you. And two, if you want to join over at Rumble, that's where you would join, is through Locals. And so don't think of like, oh, when I hit the join tab, it takes me to this Locals page, but I wanted to subscribe over at Rumble. That's how they do it over at Rumble, is you have to go and log in through Locals, through your Rumble account, and you're good. So I appreciate it. So sorry I haven't been here. I haven't been here year end. Don't worry about it, man. I get it. Glad you're here, though, now, because California's on fire. And we covered that yesterday. Thank you, Pat, for saying hit that like button, smash it. I will make sure I pin that message. I'm sure you guys have continued to see the pictures, the images of the devastation that has gone on. So before they were saying, it's going to be like probably 500 homes, and then they changed it to 1,000. Yesterday they were I can't even get it out, man. They're talking thousands of homes are just gone. You guys, it's just like I said, it's an empty parking lot, man. There's nothing there. It's one of the worst things I've seen in quite some time. I want to see if I could pull up some images here for y'all of just like what I mean. But you guys, it's you know what? I actually have an image that I was going to make my thumbnail out of. Do this, you guys. This is what it looks like. There we go. I know it's hard to see. Why do I do this? There ain't no, guys. This is just a snapshot. It ain't nothing, man. This sucker keeps going. This is LA, man. Thousands. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. It's nuts, dude. And they're not like cheap homes. These are millions of dollars just blown through. There used to be a street, and you would go down PCH and you look off to your left and you wouldn't be able to see the ocean because there's massive mansions with like the pillars and stuff like you see like Tony Stark. They're gone, just mowed over by the fire. I mean, California hasn't seen something like this, folks, and not many places have. It is destroyed, gone. And here's the kicker, man. Here's the real picker upper. Bounty, quicker picker upper. Took way too big of a sip there. I was sitting on my couch last night, you guys, And the winds are so strong lately that you can feel your entire building shake or your house shake or your apartment shake, and you could hear it, right? Anybody that's been through like high winds, you can just hear it, and it like will make your windows crack. Anybody that's been through it knows what I'm talking about, like just high winds. Like you hear like kind of crunch, the crunch sound of everything. And I look over and I ask my wife, I'm like, is that the wind? Because there was no wind today. Like for the majority of the day, there was nothing, which was nice. And then she goes, oh yeah, it's going to be high winds again tonight. So I whip out my phone and I'm looking at it. It's like 56 mile an hour to 70 mile an hour again. And I couldn't just help but think there's like 5 fires going on right now. And like higher elevation than what I'm at. I mean, they're hitting like 70 mile an hour. I haven't even looked at I didn't want to look at the news this morning, to be honest. I really didn't. Just talk about like, it's you getting your you know what kicked and then coming back and asking for some more, basically. This is gone. This is all populated, by the way. All populated, all houses. Man. So here's what we got right now. Here's what we got right now. Police arrest arson suspect behind massive new California fire. Now, innocent until proven guilty. I'm not even sure how you would catch this guy, to be honest. The Los Angeles Police Department said on Thursday night that a new blaze that has erupted in the city is being treated as a suspected arson case. Now, there are reports, and I think maybe Karen sent this to me over on X. It might have been that or something else. I just read a lot of stuff. I'm hearing like gangs are starting some of these fires so they can go in and like loot a lot of these people's homes. So that's one thing a lot of people aren't talking about is when there's these fires and then people have to evacuate. And they've done all over Southern California. It's not new for evacuation orders to go in place because there's some sort of fire. But what happens is people go in because they know nobody's home. Well, guess what? They're going to just steal it. They're going to steal your stuff in the same way they've done it over on the East Coast where a lot of you patriots live, where there's the hurricanes or there's tornadoes somewhere or whatever. Heck, I don't know. They do the same thing over there. But we got a lot of gangs here in LA, as I'm sure you know of. LAPD senior lead officer reports that we know right now is that the incident occurred starting here, Victory Trailhead, and about 20-30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over Woodland Hill area by citizens. When asked if someone purposefully set the fire, he responded, "At this time, that's what we believe, yes." Looks like they got one guy, and here's a picture over at X of that arrest taking place. Okay, Karen, that's what it was, Karen. Yeah, so Karen sent me a message on X of an Andrew Huberman video of someone setting a fire. Andrew is a Stanford professor who posts health things. Yes, that's what it was. I knew I saw your message yesterday. I was like, I can't remember what it was. But we get a lot of news here, so thank you, one, for sending me a message. Man, we got a lot of people over at X watching us. Greatly appreciate you guys over on Twitter who are watching us right now. Follow us over on X, you guys. We post a lot of stuff throughout the day. It's not only Rumble and YouTube that we post to. And we have a website, TheBaldBrad.com. We got a lot of goodies. Ran by me. So can I just emphasize something? Thank you guys for being patient every morning when I'm a little bit late trying to get things working here on YouTube, Rumble, and X all at the same time. Sometimes we're not starting exactly at 6 a.m. We might start at 6:03, 6:02, 6:05. It really depends. But I appreciate your guys' patience and just try to remember, like, it is just me trying to do everything myself. And I'm not complaining. I just am very appreciative that you guys are understanding that, hey, this guy's trying his best. He's by himself. A lot of people on YouTube, even though you don't think so, that they do the show by themselves, they got producers, they got somebody working for them and helping them. So, and right now I am by myself. We no longer have Franco. So your boy's really by himself. But moving on here with the news. California fires cause an estimated, look at this number, but it could be way more than this. Oh, it's going to be way more than this. An estimated $50+ billion in damages, on track to be the most expensive in history. Nobody has ever seen something like this, folks. It's rough. The wildfires tearing through Los Angeles are on track to be by far the most expensive wildfire in U.S. history. The Wall Street Journal obtained estimates from JP Morgan Chase that put the economic damages from the fire just right now. Folks, everything's still on fire right now. As I'm talking, things are ablaze. 50 billion, a number that is likely to continue growing. Oh, yeah. The New York Times reported that the two largest fires, the Eaton and Palisades fires, have destroyed more than 10,000 structures. Pop that closer a little bit. That's what she said. Bring that big boy on in here. Yeah. Does that not, you know, have you guys ever said something in your lives and then you say it and man, it almost knocks the wind out of you. Like you kind of feel like your breath leave you. When I say large numbers in terms of like $36 trillion in debt, or somebody's never paid off their debt if I'm doing their taxes or something, or 10,000 structures just gone and they're still burning right now. I know you guys would like that big boy one. The report said that the 2018 Camp Fire in Northern California, Butte County, was previously considered to be the most destructive with 12.5 billion in insured losses. Global Weather Center put the total estimated damage between 52 billion and 57. Now, I think the sucker's going to hit 100 billion. That's what I think. It says the figures account for both direct and indirect impacts of the storm and includes both insured and uninsured losses. Now, people have covered this where because there's these wildfires and, you know, insurance companies have an actuary that goes in and looks at the risk assessment and sees, okay, is this place most likely going to burn down? Is it not going to burn down? And they evaluate it that way. Well, what they're doing is they're going, well, look, we can't cover this. The possibility and the risk is just too high for us, so we're going to pull out. Or a lot of people can't afford it. Remember, Palisades is a very bougie place, very nice houses, but not everybody there is wealthy. It's not like everybody's a Harrison Ford who had to, you know, pull out of their $6 million plus house, or Billy Crystal's house. I don't know if you guys saw that. Billy Crystal's house is like houses combined together. Like Billy Crystal's property, I think has like 2 tennis courts on it. His house is gone. I mean, the tennis courts survived, oddly enough, but the house is gone for Billy Crystal. We've all seen him. He's done the Oscars. He's done a lot of stuff. So his house is like, think of your house, maybe probably like 2 other ones squished, combined together. All gone. So not everybody's wealthy, but some of them are. And a lot of them are celebrities too. Miles Teller's house is gone. Miles Teller's from most recently Top Gun 2, Maverick, played Goose's son. That guy, his house is gone. His car is burnt up in the driveway. So this is what a lot of people are coming back to, if they come back at all. And you're talking years before you see anything. And I've heard, rumor is Joe Biden is going to pay for, and by Joe Biden, I mean all of us as a country, is going to pay for 100% of the cleanup. Now, what does that mean? I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if that's just on city property, or if that includes they're going to clean up even, you know, private property as well. I'm not sure the dynamics of that yet and the nuances. We'll try to figure that out as time goes on. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to be clear. I actually don't, because we pay taxes and that's what we want to use our money for, is to take care of Americans. And this is what I wished we would have spent money on in South Carolina or in Florida or in, I don't care where it is. If you have a natural disaster, we would love to take care of our own. But what you're seeing is time and time and time again, and this is where I lost my bleep yesterday, we're giving money to other nations. Yes, do they need it? Yeah, to be fair, they do. But, you know, we come first, and then everybody else comes second. You could see that it was mowed over, and Joey still wants to send money other places. The Maui fires, thank you, Jeff, for the reminder. Absolutely, the Maui fires. That would have been a great one, too, to send a bunch of our money to. I got no qualms. I got no problem. And you're talking to a fiscal conservative. I always say this, you guys know this, I'm a registered Republican, but I'm a fiscal conservative. If I'm ever talking about spending large sums of money, that should at least bring some sort of awareness of like, it's probably okay. When I teach finance, I'm not giving financial advice. When I teach finance, I tell them I'm a cheapskate. Like I am like the nature of me, of who I am as an individual. I am a cheap ass. I share this with you guys. I eat turkey and rice every day for lunch. I eat beef and rice. Granted, I'm trying to cut weight, and do these things and eat a little bit healthier, but I'm just cheap like that. Doesn't mean I don't have any other food and everything else around. Like, God, Brad, what does your wife eat? She's a good cook. She eats really well. Trust me. But what I'm trying to say is that there's things that you should splurge on. And one of them is insurance. Splurge on insurance. Splurge on healthcare. Those types of things you got to spend on. Taking care of us Americans is what we should be splurging on. Now, that's for emergencies. I think we should have a safety net. The social programs that we got going on, too bloated, too much. That's what Elon Musk and I think other people need to cut. I don't think they're going to, but that's for another story for another day. Right now, we're talking about the fire. I have thought about making a trip up here and filming it for you guys. I have thought about that. So I'm gonna kind of see. I don't know. I got to look at it. Can I get up there? There's people that have ridden their bikes through there. You can't bring cars through there. So I want to try to get up there and give you guys my footage with I'll take my camera off the pod here and I'll go film it for you if I can get up there. So that's kind of my goal, my plan. We'll see if I could take a buddy of mine to go help me film too. We'll get up there as well. How come California doesn't attack the homeless needs, but the Richie Rich fires all in all day, every day? Great question, Dizzy. And oddly enough, I have a thing about the homeless here in one moment. So buckle up, baby. If you're liking what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button again, folks. If you're over at YouTube, Rumble, or X, we do this each day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've got a lot of people that always watch. You guys, we're hitting in some cases almost 2,000 views a day on just the podcast. That doesn't include the other videos. So I want to give a shout out to all of you that watch the show. If you do end up watching the show and you're not really interested in everything, hey, just hit the mute button, walk away, and allow it to run. And what that does is it helps the analytics because it actually tracks you all individually. And it will show, hey, people are really interested in sticking around and watching your video all the way through. And that just helps with the analytics and it helps push videos out. So they do all sorts of stuff like that. So if you do watch a video, I'd appreciate it if you just kind of play it, mute it, walk away if you have to. That's what I kind of do every now and then for my own videos. I work for LA County. When we work the fires, the feds pay for every single person working. That's an expensive bill too. Brings up a great point again. And that's something that I know is actually covered. That is something that they actually pointed to when Joe said that, was that he will cover everybody's salary as well. So that was included. So I'm glad Danielle mentioned that. And Danielle, I did get the Facebook message on the email, by the way. I did get that. That's what's going on with the expensive damages. So I hope some of those buildings are insured, but God, I don't know. Either way, insurance goes up, and which I think is pretty stupid. You know, when you get an auto accident, you get into one, even whether it's your fault or not, your insurance goes up. Wasn't the whole purpose of me having insurance was to, hey, if something were to happen, which is a possibility that it will, especially if you're driving, was a high degree of probability of taking place. Wouldn't you think that, hey, this is why I have it. That's when I have it. Don't jack up my prices after to cover the cost of what I already done or somebody else did. Frustrating. So I'm going to try to keep it together on these next few articles because I lost my bleep yesterday. And for those that watch, I do want to apologize to some people here. I went hard in the paint yesterday. The reason why I want to apologize, you have to understand some people listen to this podcast with their kids. You know what I mean? Like they're in their car, I'm on their radio, or they have me plugged into their Bluetooth or whatever it is. And I'm just unleashing, and they're trying to scramble while on the road probably to turn me off because their kids are in there going, what's he saying, Daddy? What's the F word? Wow, he's really saying a lot of stuff. It's, so I know you guys appreciate the rants and stuff like that, but it's also something the bigger I get, I do have to take those types of things into consideration as well. So, we all, I think, can agree as adults is probably not good doing that. But look, sometimes I can't help it because when people's lives are at risk, like this knucklehead allows, meaning Gavin Newsom's on the screen for those that listen to audio only. When people's, why am I even bother trying to explain it? You guys understand. You guys get it. When people's houses are being burned, people are dying. You guys, a guy was found on the side of his house, crisp, done, burned alive, with a fire hose still in his hand, like a you're watering the lawn, dead. Guy's trying to save everything he has in life because that's what their home is. I know a lot of the stuff we've been seeing is like a lot of celebrities' homes and everything, but a lot of these people are just average Joe Americans like you and I that maybe had their house passed down, or they've been like, some of them are like 95. The house wasn't $1 million when they bought it, guys. California houses didn't used to be millions of dollars. They used to be like 100,000, really cheap, like 30 years ago, 35 years ago. Not even that long ago. They were still less than like 200,000. So, of course I'm going to lose my crap because, man, people's lives are being freaking ruined because you got a bunch of politicians that are being elected that don't want to do their job. I'm not saying Gavin Newsom sat there with a lighter, goes, suckers, I'm going to take you out now. But if you know there's wildfires all the time, why not figure something out to where we can handle this in some way, shape, or form? Especially when it's around massive population of people. Well, here he is lying again. And I don't, you know what? I don't want to, I hate to say this with such mass devastation. I'm okay with hearing people, crying out and complaining about the fire. Like that's fine with me. That's not what I'm about to say. I don't want to hear Democrats complain about politicians after this devastation. I don't want to hear crap. The reason why is because Trump told you it was going to happen. We all here, patriots across the country, told you it was going to happen. Everybody said this was going to happen because this guy sucks. And that's why I wanted him recalled. Now, just because Larry Elder would have gotten in or some other guy doesn't mean that would have been fixed. But it's at least worth a try. Well, he lied about the California fire victim about calling Biden. So there's a clip here. And the clip shows Gavin fumbling as he's having a confrontation with a distraught woman who just runs up to him. So check this clip out. He don't know what to do. And remember how I said this yesterday, where I go, I wish somebody would just go up in front of his face and just start reaming him like I was doing yesterday. We're not going to get that big of an impact, but at least somebody went up and started getting into his face about this crap. So I don't know, is this a viewer? Is this woman? Hey, if you're a viewer, email me because you're applauding you for doing this.
Governor, you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter. I have 4 kids losing the school.
Everyone who went to school there, they lost their homes. They lost 2 homes because they were living in one and building another. Governor, please tell me, what are you going to do with the president right now?
We're getting the resources to help rebuild.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be. Has to be. Of course.
What are you going to do?
I'm doing
to
everything
fill the hydrants. I would fill them up personally. You know that.
I literally have.
I would fill up the hydrants myself.
I understand.
But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not. I see the. Do you know there's water dripping over there, Governor? There's water coming out there. You can use it.
I appreciate it. I'm going to make the call to address everything I can right now, including making sure people are safe.
I'd like to make sure you do. Can I have an opportunity to at least tell people you're doing what you're saying you're doing? Could somebody have a contact? Can I have your contact information?
Right there.
God, man. I'll be honest. I was getting a little choked up there. You could just hear it in her voice. You know what I mean? Man, I'm literally trying not to cry on camera right now. You can just hear it. Man, these people are just getting completely messed up, guys. Woo. Give me a second here. I hadn't seen that before. I mean, I'm always honest with you guys. I don't watch this beforehand, but God. Man, I didn't think that would hit me that hard. Just, man, talking about her kid, and then like you could just hear when a mom is just like you just hear it, dude. Now, here's what I would have done if I was Gavin. I understand he's busy and he's probably trying to handle a lot of crap, to be honest. And I don't even like the guy. You got to sit there and console that person. And you have to also have the understanding of no matter what he's going to say to her, it's not going to be enough. She just lost everything. Everything's gone. Her entire world has just, I mean, she lost all of her memories are in there. Everything. What I would have done was I would have walked over to a curb or something and I would have sat down with her and just had a conversation. And you know what? I might even, if she said her house was over there or wherever, I would say, hey, you know, let's walk over your house. Let's talk about this. Let's take the cameras away. Let's talk about this. And you could, you know, the cameras will shoot you from a distance and just sit down and spend time with her. Spend time and console her and explain to her what right now the plan is. You could take 5, 10, 30 minutes. You could do that. And I think that would have went a long way. And I would have had, I think, a lot more respect for him rather than getting in the car going, I'm trying to talk to the president. Joe Biden doesn't know crap. Joe Biden puts his shoes on wrong, okay? He's not going to figure anything out. But, man, that was rough. Did that hit anybody else? Am I the only one here where I'm like, I got messed up? He says he's calling the president to get resources, but he should prepare, not rely on others after the fact. Very good point, Q. Danielle says the state needs to start another Newsom recall. I'll sign it again. Yeah, right now, if you did a recall right now, it probably would happen. Jeff says, not to be off topic, but did anyone see where the military thinks the KOW were the drones? We might get to the drones in a little bit, Jeff. I got Trump talking about that. He fake cries. I mean, come on. Humiliated her. Yeah, it's rough. Fake a phone call with Biden, that helps. Guys are ripping Newsom hard. Yeah, she's 9 weeks pregnant on top of everything, and then meds on the Bueno for the baby. She's already cramping. I think we're talking about, all right, there's a lot of conversations going on in chat. Okay, we also have this here. News anchor claims LA firefighters aren't out of water, but then a reporter immediately contradicts him. So a lot of people are actually covering this yesterday morning because they do their show after me. I do my show 6 a.m. They hop in a few hours later. They're able to grab the most up-to-date news than I am sometimes. So a news anchor tried to come to the defense of elected Democrats by claiming that Rick Caruso was wrong about firefighters not having water to put out fires. But then a reporter on the ground jumps in to confirm that there is no water. So the media is lying to people again to push a narrative, and then their own reporters are there, the ones that are actually feeling the heat, you know what I mean? Actually breathing in the toxic smoke that probably has a lot of contaminants in it from the burning plastics and whatever hazardous materials out there. It completely contradicts them. Here we go.
Former LA mayoral candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going.
Unbelievable. Hold on a second. It's giving me the spinning wheel of death that happens from time to time. Come on, Elon, figure it out.
And in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
And let's go out to Gigi Graciette. She is
Okay,
live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water on this block, and you may be able to make out the ember storm that we're in the middle of right now. This house going to be a total loss. They have no water to put on this fire. They are standing by because they're trying to save the home that is next to it.
I want to give a shout out to that reporter that was on the ground that emphasized multiple times they have no water, because these jack bleeps in the anchor position that want to push a narrative because they're probably a producer or some idiots in their ear or themselves is trying to push the narrative. Well, we haven't actually heard that. It's just a bunch of conspiracy theories. So shout out to that reporter for actually doing her damn job. God, man. The guy at the beginning makes a good point of this is about lack of leadership. And it's a tough thing to say when people's houses got burned down, but they're feeling the effects of that lack of leadership. This is Southern California. This is LA area territory. This is the further you pinch to that coast, you are getting some hardcore progressive ideology. And speaking of that, yes, climate change. That's what they're going to push. You have to understand that even though people lost everything, guess what they're still going to vote for? Yes, Democrat. That's the wild and bonkers thing about this. People's pain, they've lost their houses. In some cases, people have died. And there still is no wake-up call to the fact that you voted for Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, whoever else, these idiots that are running the show up there. And now massive devastation is taking place because they're idiots. And you know who's been calling them idiots for 3.5+ years? This guy. And now I have to sit here, and as everybody else does, has to watch it. And then there's actual people that have to experience this terrible catastrophe because these idiots don't have their head out of their you-know-whats. What's the proof? I'm sorry. Yeah. No, let's show the progressive knuckleheads the proof. Well, here's one. News scum cut roughly $150 million from wildlife prevention budget in the past. Southern California fires have precipitated much harsh criticism of the state's lack of effort to confront the ever-present danger of wildfires. What follows is a compendium of information that may prove useful in understanding where the states is with their water and why California Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom's policies have basically created some criticism. Now, if you're wondering why I'm slanting down, it's because the light is up here and it's shining right in my eyes as I'm like doing this. So if I cover my hat, I could see a little bit better. In 2021, an investigation by this radio station found that Newsom had misrepresented his accomplishments. Maybe if I go like that, it'll be better. There we go. Misrepresented his accomplishments and even disinvested in wildfire prevention. The investigation found Newsom overstated by an astounding 960%. Kind of sounds like when they said, oh, we created 12 million new jobs. Inflation this, inflation that. Gas prices are down. Always lying. The number of acres treated with fuel breaks and prescribed burns in every forestry project, he said, needed to be prioritized to protect the state's most vulnerable communities. Data obtained by this radio station and NPR's California Newsom show, Cal Fire's fuel reduction output dropped by half in 2020. Well, he slashed nearly $150 million from Cal Fire's wildlife prevention budget. So that's nice. That's great. Yeah, nice job, Gavin. Nice job. Killing it up there, man. You're doing a fabulous job. Don't you worry. He doesn't. And he doesn't have to worry. That's the mind-blowing thing. Is I don't know if you all saw, but Karen Bass wasn't even in town when her whole city's up in flames. No, not like a. No. Now listen carefully. A city is up in flames, like war type of flames. Gone. 10,000 structures gone. Thousands of homes. Your neighborhood that you live in right now, your entire neighborhood, and I mean that in all their sense, your entire neighborhood, just think that you walk outside your house and everything is burned down. That's what we're talking about here. Paint that picture. Just want to be clear. She wasn't even there. So she gets all snappy. She gets feisty. Why is she able to do this? Because she's a Democrat. She's a lefty. This was the photo op that they took, right? There's something to be said about this, that when you have a bunch of progressives and Democrats on the screen and sheer devastation behind them, I mean, it's two peas in a pod, in my opinion. So she got testy with the CBS reporter during a Thursday morning press conference regarding the multiple fires still blazing in the area. Well, let's see what that looks like here.
Mayor, LA County is in a panic state. It began 2 days ago with the Palisades fire. My crew and I arrived shortly after it started, and for several hours we watched as hundreds of homes in a neighborhood burned to the ground. We did not see a single fire engine. We watched as Good Samaritans guided traffic. There was fear and there was a lot of confusion. You were out of the country at the time. Shortly after the fire started, a press release was put out warning of this fire behavior. My question to you is, what explains this lack of preparation and rapid response?
Let me just say, first and foremost, my number one focus, and I think the focus of all of us here with one voice, is that we have to protect lives, we have to save lives, and we have to save homes. Rest assured that when
did not happen.
Assured, let me finish. Rest assured, when that is done, when we are safe, when lives have been saved and homes have been saved, we will absolutely do an evaluation to look at what worked, what didn't work, and to correct or to hold accountable any body, department, individual, etc. But
except not you or Gavin. We're not going to hold you idiots accountable. That is rich.
Focus right now is on the lives and on the homes.
Do you think your leadership was effective while responding to this disaster?
I just said what I believe is the most important thing for us to do right now, and that is going to continue to be my focus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Save lives and save homes. And the reporter was correct. None of that happened. Thousands of homes are burned down. Karen, firefighters don't even have water to fight the fires. They're just standing there. And I'm not blaming the firefighters. I'm blaming these idiots up here. You gotta love it when we're gonna hold them accountable. Hand to God, anybody just off the top of their head, can you name a single Democrat off the top of your head that was held accountable? In the entire country, name a Democrat that's held accountable. Just off the top of your head, I'm sure it obviously exists. Just off the top of your head, because I can't. And I do this every day for a hobby. Who? Where? We have had 4 years of just nothing but insane crap take place. Nobody's been held accountable. So, sorry, Karen, not going to believe you. No. Not going to happen. I freaking love that. Well, we're going to focus on saving lives and, making a difference and all this other stuff. Sure you are. You want to know what they focus on here, folks, is DEI. LA's new fire chief, diversity amid disaster response. So wait till we show the clip. You could see it playing a little bit down here. Los Angeles Fire Department has appointed Kristen Crowley, the first female and LGBTQ plus fire chief amidst a backdrop of wildfires and a renowned focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Things are burning down, and this is what LA wants to focus on. I told you guys that people can lose everything, and it's still going to sit there and have them vote Democrat. Remember that conversation I was having, like, oh, well, it's just not bad enough. Now you have to really question, how bad do things have to get for somebody for them to wake up and see, hey, maybe let's kind of switch here for a little bit. Let's kind of evaluate. That's how strong the left's ideology is. You can lose everything in your life and still blame it on Republicans or somebody else, rather than the actual leadership that's there, that's Democrat. And it's their Democrat policies and their Democrat ideology, their Democrat actions that led to, well, some of this. So here's the new fire chief, and just listen carefully. Listen carefully. You're going to start off saying you want to see somebody that responds to your house.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Yo, we're going back. I'm not even so sure if it's morning. I'm not sure. Did we all hear what I thought she said or he said? I don't know what the hell I'm dealing with here. I'm playing that crap again because I don't believe that I actually just heard what I think I just heard.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease.
I'm going to pause it there because that was the first thing I was like, what the? Just going to paint the scenario here because these are the idiots that Democrats love to put in. Your house is ablaze. Your house is ablaze. Not like a little stove fire. You know what I mean? Oh, look at you lit the paper towel on fire, Joanne. God damn it. No. Your house is on fire. And the guy comes in, right? And you get low because you gotta stay lower than the smoke and stuff like that. And the firefighter is in full garb. You don't know if it's a woman or a man. You hope it's a freaking strong boy, don't you? Yeah, me too. And crawling, right? And you're just laying on the floor with them. Oh, I'm so glad it's a tranny. What's your name? Yeah, can you console me? What the hell is this?
Knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire.
Yeah. That is my question. If my ass was sleeping, and let's just say the detector wasn't working or something, and I was not conscious while my freaking house is on fire, and I don't wake up from that consciousness, I think I would want to know if you could carry me out of a fucking burning building. What the hell? This is the fire chief of LA. I don't need to tell you how many people live in LA, you guys. Millions. And people understand, they can't get it. They're looking at their house freaking bulldozed by a fire. And people are wondering, can you carry me or my husband out of a building? No shit, I'm worried about that. In the same way, that's why I've said I don't think women should be on the front lines, because if my ass gets taken out, because if I'm sent off to war for some ungodly reason, I would want to make sure that my brother next to me, or I guess in now this case in this world we live in, the lady that's fucking 5'1", 112 pounds soaking wet, can carry my 210 pounds out of the battlefield. Gee, I'm twice her weight. Do you think she's going to be able to carry my ass out of a war-torn area? Forrest Gump with Bubba behind him, running through freaking the jungles of Nam.
which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
So she did say it. She did say what I thought she said.
Response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
He got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire. Oh my God. I need everybody to realize something in the chat. That was not a parody. That I need you to please understand that is 100% real. That's not AI. That's not manipulated in any way. That is the LA Fire Department Assistant Chief, Christy Larson. Wild. Really wild stuff. We got a lot of people watching us over on X. Greatly appreciate you guys watching. If you can, hit that repost button, follow us over there. Again, I want to show you this picture. I posted this yesterday on X. Speaking of it, this is what it looks like. This keeps going. Like there's smoke. You can't see this. There's no houses here. It's gone. Everything's gone. Goes on forever. Did all these people get themselves in the wrong place, bitch? I'm sure some of these people would have loved to know if you could carry them out of their freaking house or not. Isn't that mind-blowing that these people are there to protect you? This is exactly why I want Trump in office, because finally we got somebody with their freaking head on straight that can actually lead here finally. I'm still bewildered by that. There was another thing I want to post, this right here. This is why you want to follow me on X, because I retweet stuff, I post stuff. He, meaning DeSantis, is so spot on here. So I've actually seen this clip. It's mind-blowing. Listen to what DeSantis has to say here on the media narrative and what they would have done if Gavin Newsom was a Republican, if he was a Republican.
President-elect or a president to be criticizing. Is it appropriate for people in your industry to try to create division and to try to create narratives anytime these things happen? Now, you're not as interested in doing that because Newsom is a D. If Newsom was a Republican, you guys would you would have him nailed to the wall for what they're doing over there. And I know we've dealt with it. We just assume in Florida, anytime something happens, it's going to be politicized by the media. So you guys sitting in judgment of Donald Trump, I mean, excuse me, I think your track record of politicizing these things is very, very bad.
Okay, last question. Newsom should resign and that the wildfires are all his fault. So do you agree with those comments?
I remember when we had the Surfside Tower collapse, I had people from the Washington Post trying to blame me for it immediately without having any facts or anything. Oh, he didn't declare a state of emergency. First of all, state of emergency doesn't mean you can't respond. It's all that. Excuse me?
Biden did it. I think that's what she's saying.
Well, but what I'm telling you is you guys are trying to make an issue of it when I have watched from this seat. In fact, when I got elected governor, I was meeting with some of the other Republican governors, and what they would say is, hey, if you have a natural disaster, just know media's coming at you, they're going to do it. It's not the same. That mayor of LA, if that were a Republican mayor, I could only imagine what that would do. I mean, you know the fires are at high risk, and you try to go to Africa or wherever she was to go on some type of voyage. You should have been there preparing and doing that, and yet I don't see a lot of heat being directed in that thing. And so, you know, I'd like to see some balance on how this is done. You could criticize the president-elect, but I think you also have to hold these other people accountable, and I have not seen that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Ron. God, what a breath of fresh air. You guys, you don't understand. You writing in the chat right now and just hearing you go, hey, we're just as pissed as you are and everything. Thank you. Because when you do this and you're sitting in a room by yourself, you sometimes think you're crazy. And when you live in this state, there's things that happen where you think you're crazy. So that's why I try to source out, not necessarily looking for a confirmation bias, but going like, is anybody else seeing the crap that I'm seeing here? You guys, you know I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I greatly appreciate you. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do a quick plug here really quick. And I want to share about a family that's supporting this channel. I've actually talked to them behind the scenes, by the way. This is God honest truth. Their son was diagnosed with an extreme immune disorder. Plus, their father had a rare form of cognitive decline due to his military service. And you know how we love military vets here. They spent almost $200,000 out of pocket, folks. Frustrated, they began to make a complex mushroom product based on new studies from the U.S. Library of Medicine. They almost gave up from the multiple setbacks. Plus, their first large batch was robbed. Fast forward, now they speak at medical conventions across the United States. Their mushroom supplement massively supports immune, brain, plus health, heart function, and blood itself. It's a complex blend of 400 compounds. Wow! It's rich in vitamins plus minerals. Plus, it's most concentrated mushroom gummy in the U.S. They have 6 formulas in one. It's getting 6 supplements, but for the price of one. If you want to support a family that supports our channel, and they really do, like I said, this family is incredible. I've talked to them via email, plus free speech with their marketing, and want to try a strong mushroom supplement, check the link below and use the code for 40% off today, folks. You can use the QR code here for Emerald Med. Fabulous family, making a difference in people's lives, and at least give it a look at, folks. At least go over there and check them out, and look at it. 40% off is an insane thing to just try. Even if you're kind of against stuff like that, we're moving in the realm of learning more about mushrooms and kind of the way nature creates things and how that can help the human body. And so that's why I say if you need something like that, really go seek that out. And that's a family operated I don't want to say firm, but a family operated company where it's not like a huge, massive corporation, really controlling their product and making the best they can with what they have there. And it is a good product. So make sure you head over there to Emerald Med and check them out. Great people and good cause. Craig says, there I go again doing that fact thingy. So you guys are too much in the chat. Let's see what else do we have here really quickly. It's cowardly. 2 Democrat New Jersey gubernatorial candidates ripped for not voting for Lake and Riley Act. I mean, look, I guess at this point, I should maybe stop trying to rationalize Democrats' behaviors and their voting and the things that they do and don't do. I don't think there is any rationale behind it. I think they're just idiots. Not every Democrat. I want to be clear, right? When I talk in Democrats, by the way, I should be clear, even more clear on this. I'm talking about politicians mostly. I do talk about voters because I think what they're voting in is irrational. I don't think they're completely idiots, right? That's silly. Some of these people are extremely intelligent. When it comes to voting and kind of extrapolating variables and seeing what could be the outgrowths of those variables, some people lack in that. And so do I in some cases. I don't know why you'd vote. I don't know why you would not do this. So Democrat Governor Phil Murphy on Lake and Riley Act passed this in the House. You got, was it Mickey Sherrill of Essex and John Gottheimer of Bergen County were recorded as not voting on the bill, which would require illegal immigrants convicted of theft to be detained by municipal and state authorities. The reason why you also want to know this is important is because Tom Homan can track them. That's why that's also important. Because once we know that they've been convicted of a theft, well, now they're truly designated as a criminal. And guess what? Gone you are. You're on the next flight out, and we're taking you far south. Far south. Now, the reason why we want to get this down, you guys, is because illegal alien was busted with an AR-15, 10 pounds of fentanyl in Massachusetts, where some of the patriots in the chat live. Isn't that lovely? And where were they at? At a homeless shelter with an AR-15. Yeah. Well, Brad, hold on a second. If they were an illegal, how'd they get an AR-15? How'd they get fentanyl? I'm bringing this up because Margaret Brennan, I think it was of CBS, NBC, I can't remember what outlet she's with Face the Nation. She told us to our faces that this wasn't happening, that they can't get a gun. We all saw it. I've showed it multiple times. Democrats in the chat, don't you say that we didn't show it. We did multiple times. She said this was not happening because she's an idiot. And a lot of them are. An illegal alien in his possession of a semi-automatic rifle and an estimated $1 million worth of fentanyl was busted by police in Massachusetts homeless shelter, prompting an investigation of shelters across the state. This is just one sucker. You know how many people 10 pounds of fentanyl would kill? I don't know how to explain this. I'm trying to see if I have anything around me to show you. I have this sucker here. this isn't even going to do it justice. Do you see just the tip of his antenna? That tip there? Y'all see that? It's going to be actually smaller than this when I talk about the amount. This amount of fentanyl, just the tip, that green little tip, that's what she said. That is enough to put you down and kill you. It's actually less than that. Probably cut this tip in half. That will beyond kill you. Like, Brad, how could you kill beyond? You know what I mean. It's more than enough to put you down. 10 pounds? 10 pounds? That could kill hundreds of thousands of people. And Democrats still vote against this stuff. They still want illegal immigrants. They're fine with it. They're totally cool with it. Yeah, we should. These people need help. They need shelter. Yeah, no, this guy that was apprehended for this needs help. Yeah. Give him shelter, food, and you're paying for it. That's the great. You're paying for all of this. Dude's in a homeless shelter. Now, how does that connect to California, the wildfires we're talking about? Is because Gavin Newsom spent $24 billion on homeless. I think it was $24 billion. I think I have that right. And it got worse. Never got better. Still is bad. Because he sucks. And I'm hoping if there's any Democrats in the state of California where I live that are watching this, can we stop? We just stop for a moment and just remove Gavin and Karen Bass from the whole situation. Can we just get rid of them finally, please? These are the same people that when we were locked down, they thought it was okay for them to go out to restaurants and have a good time with their friends while we were all stuck in our homes. And if we were to go out, we would get citations or arrested. But when they go out and do the exact same thing, it's completely fine. Remember when Nancy Pelosi was able to go and get her hair done on security footage, but businesses weren't allowed to be open? So her own person, her own salon specialist that was taking care of her hair, released the footage because he was pissed about it too. They're greater than the rest of us. They think they're kings and they think we're the peasants. I did want to show this really quick before we end here because Jeff mentioned it, but Trump was talking about drones the other day and he mentioned how he's going to release the information of what we know about the drones.
Here, very suddenly, do you have any idea whatever happened to the drones?
Oh, it's Peter Ducey giving him a question. That's the Ducey Meister, the gladiator.
What happened to drones?
Well, you had said that you knew you thought the government knew what was happening with these drones over New Jersey. There were some by Bedminster.
I don't know. They're over Bedminster a lot, so I can imagine. I'm going to give you a report on drones about one day into the administration because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. And it's not only with me. Glenn was telling me today that in Virginia they have drones all over the place too, and nobody's reporting it. I don't know why they're not. Do you want to say something about that?
Just one quick comment, which is we are home to the largest naval base in the world in Quantico, and we house a lot of the SEAL teams and have a huge national security infrastructure. And now for 2 years running, we have had drone incursion over secure airspace, and we still don't know why. And I think that's absolutely unacceptable. And I think President Trump and the new leadership coming in, I think, will work diligently to understand who's behind this and what we do in order to stop the digital surveillance of all of our secure infrastructure.
Well, I can tell you this. While we were dealing with a terrorist attack in New Orleans, we had drones being flown over our nuclear reactors in Louisiana. And we brought that attention to the FAA. We've been asking the FAA to give these states the ability to mitigate these drones. And it's sitting on some bureaucrat's desk. And that's real.
Nobody knows. They don't want to talk about it. Go ahead, Governor, you're going to say?
I was just going to say we have drones in Wyoming flying over our infrastructure as well. And it's incredibly frustrating that we not only have no way of knowing what it is, but nobody knows how to deal with them.
They don't want to talk about it, and nobody knows why. They don't want to talk about it.
What? I didn't know that.
That could be us sending drones. I hope that's the case, us doing it and doing research, and maybe they don't want to talk about it from that standpoint. I hope it's not an enemy, but we're going to find out on the 21st, the day after. You have to give me a little time for the inauguration, but shortly thereafter, we'll give you a report on it. We'll tell you exactly what it is. They know, and it's very strange that.
You know what? I'm going to say it because I'm proud to say it. I voted for this guy 3 damn times. I was there with him since the beginning, and I'm going to brag about it. My voting records prove it. God, I love this guy.
They aren't talking about it.
A story that
I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm going to release everything. I'm going to tell you. Give me a little bit of time. Look, my hands only move so fast to sign executive orders. Trump is going to be on that freaking Resolute desk, dual fisting pens, flipping them around, just signing stuff left and right. God, he's the best. Man, he's good. He's good. He's good. And we got 10 days. 10 days. I hope he says he's going to do everything he says he's going to do. I just want to be clear. Everybody in the chat, you've been with me for years, most of you. I'm going to call his ass out. I want to be clear. If he doesn't do what he's going to do and he does something stupid, I'm going to call him out. It doesn't mean I don't like him. You guys call out your husbands for doing stupid shit. Come on. Vice versa. Look, we're family. We're going to call each other out. You guys call me out. I shave my beard and you call me out. Oh, what are you doing, baby face? Baby face, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? It's okay. So I just want to be clear that, look, I love Trump. He doesn't do everything right. He's a human being, and I'm not going to agree with everything he does. So I just want to be clear on that. When I hound him, just know I love the guy. Most of the stuff is going to come from the media and us ripping them because, you know, we already know they're going to go after the guy. So with that being said, folks, appreciate you so much. We'll be back here next week. And remember, we will be streaming the Inauguration Day. Probably all day. We're going to be live for hours. So we'll be streaming some, probably Fox News, CNN, a bunch of other stuff and just kind of see what they do. But we'll be watching it together. I appreciate it. Brad saving the cursing to the end. It's my New Year's resolution. I'm trying. If you can support the show, folks, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. If you can't and you don't have the means, please don't feel like you have to. You just watching is enough. I just want to emphasize that as clear as I possibly can. You just hanging out with us. That's what it's truly about. If you want to help, it's there. It'd be appreciated. Locals is working over at Rumble. So if you want to take your subscription over there, they take a less of a cut, and it also goes to a free speech site, unlike ScrewTube. So Locals is up and running. Finally, join us over there. And we also have a website and a book and all that stuff. So appreciate you. I will see you next time. Have a lovely weekend, Patriots. And look, Spooky Adventures had a video out. Spooky Adventures, the other channel, had a video out. Just being clear. Have a great weekend. I messed up. Have a great weekend, Patriots. There we go. Take care.